So I posted a clip on my Instagram, and it was on 420 about how fuck smoking weed, that weed is bad for you. It hinders your growth. Weed never made anyone better at anything. But I'm not just saying weed, motherfucker. When I talk about a vice, the problem with vices, do you guys understand what the problem with a vice is? A vice is weed, alcohol, porn, any overconsumption of food. I mean, anything you run to avoid facing a problem head on. So that's the whole thing behind it, is every time you would be forced to solve a problem internally that was painful, that you were frustrated with, these are the times. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, the list goes on. Any of these states that are not desirable states that humans are in, people run to alcohol, weed, pills, porn, excessive consumption of bullshit entertainment. You run to the vices during these times. Boredom leads to desire, leads to vices. If you ever want to get any true growth in this life, if you ever want to achieve any higher level of consciousness, you have to what? What do you have to do? You have to suffer, motherfucker. Your guys' lives are too easy. Anytime you're about to be in an undesirable state, you just roll up a blunt. You just go eat something. You go drink something. You never have to face it. That's why I grew so much in prison, because I was forced to face the pain. When I wanted to leave the cell, couldn't. When I wanted to talk to someone that would make me feel loved, make me feel connected, I had to fucking stomach the fact that I wasn't getting on the phone. I had to face it within. When I had to suffer and face it within, what would happen? I would open this gateway. As Angie would say, you would ask for God's understanding of the event. But I would just be looking for that download, that growth, that gem that's going to get me through it. And what would happen? I'd be sitting there just desiring human connection, even to talk to my mom or my girl at the time or a friend. And I couldn't, because we were on lockdown and there was no phone available. We couldn't get on the day room phone, nothing. We couldn't do any of this. So what happened is I would have to come up with a mental fail-safe that saved me. Instead of running to that comfort, that freedom, it's not a vice to talk to someone, but I was facing a painful event. So most people, instead of coming up with a fail-safe mentally, they would go smoke a joint because they couldn't talk to their family members. Or they would bang some heroin because they couldn't talk to their family members. Or they're like, fuck it, let's drink. They would go into any vice that was readily available so they didn't have to face that pain of missing their loved ones. So what did I do? I had to drift internally and find mental strength. How did I find mental strength? I created belief systems and fail-safes, and I put them in front of the problem. So the problem was I couldn't talk to them. And then I would just tell myself, it doesn't matter. I love them anyways, and I'm just going to send them love. And I would start working out, and I would really just be releasing to them what I wanted to possess inside. Because what you release externally, you possess internally. What you release most completely, you possess most completely. And so I knew at that time that I was fully in control of my emotional state. You guys aren't, because you run to weed, because you run to alcohol, because you run to drugs, because you run to food. I still do it out here sometimes. When I'm real pissed, I'm like, fuck it, I just want to eat. And I'll just go eat. And I'll eat too much. You guys do it. Food is the hardest one. Food is the most impossible one to break, because you don't need to smoke. You don't need to drink. You don't need to do drugs. You don't need to do any of these other things. But you got to eat. So when you start eating, you just over fucking do it. And it's everywhere. And it's not looked at as a problem. So what are you guys doing? What are you running to instead of facing your reality? Because the reality was, I was too weak to handle the situation at hand, that I couldn't do something I wanted to do. And that's the strength. When you desire something, can you withhold it? That's where mental strength is created. When you desire something, can you deny yourself of that? So when you're really hungry dieting and you deny the food and you just eat your macros, you build mental strength. When you really want to sleep in and you deny yourself that pleasure, you build mental strength. When you deny yourself the release of sexual pleasure by looking at porn because you no longer believe in even supporting that or watching it or polluting your mind with that, you build mental fucking strength. And I'm showing you guys over and over again with these daily habits and the extinguishing of all vices, why it makes you a mentally stronger person. Why the fuck do you think you need mental toughness? Because life's coming. Something's gonna fucking happen. There's no way you're gonna make it through life without losing a family member. There's no way you're gonna make it through life without going from one fucking notch on the ladder to a lower one at some point. We've all been through it. And I think those are the best times. I think those tests reveal a man to himself. So I've always said adversity reveals a man to himself. Have you had enough? All these bitches online who create problems online, who are looking for problems online with people, they don't have any real problems. They're doing nothing to where they're looking for a negative interaction with someone. That's when you know you're at the worst point in life. When you start to really have problems, you overlook a lot of shit. Like when you're like, oh, fuck, I got some shit to deal with. You overlook a lot of shit. The guy can honk at you and flip you off. Whatever, bro. Like, keep looking for small issues. I'm actually fucking building big things right now. And when you're building something big, you're running into big problems. The quicker you move, the more mistakes are made. And you have to move quick. And you have to clean up these mistakes as you go. This is the reality of it. People are like, mistakes? Please make more of them. More mistakes equals more wisdom. I love you guys. Just make sure you realize that when you succumb to a vice, what happens is you don't get that mental strength. You escaped reality again. You weren't able to get that level up that was right there. People think like they build mental strength by watching fucking videos and shit like that. You build mental strength by withholding something you desire, motherfucker. Let's do this shit. I love you guys. Let's go!